23rd of August 2022, and the program is Newspaper Review. My name is Didi West, and we believe that you would really enjoy the flow of information coming from our end to you. As you know, we like to start with today in history to be able to equip especially the younger ones with things that happened years ago in case they need to refer to current affairs and such like. And today we've made it a bumper version of Today in History, when we've gone all the way back to 1430 August 23, 2022. And on that day, Joan of Arc is captured at the siege of Compiègne by troops from Burgundian faction. Joan of Arc holds a lot of history in the Roman Catholic Church, and even concerning Rome, concerning Italy. And on the 23rd day of August 1430, Joan of Arc is captured at the siege of Compiègne by troops from Burgundian faction. She was 17 when she started her exploits, and by the time she turned 19, her reign of success had come to an end because she was burnt alive on the stake. Well, that's the much for Joan of Arc. We go over to 1788. 23rd of August 1788, South Carolina ratifies the United States Constitution as the 8th American state. 1788, 23rd August, South Carolina ratifies the United States Constitution as the 8th state of the United States of America. So you know now how South Carolina became part of the United States. On this day, they ratified the American Constitution. And it will go to 1829. Remember the music equipment, that music facility called the accordion. The accordion patent is granted to Cyril Demian in Vienna, Austria, the Austrian Empire. On this date, 1829, the accordion patent is granted to Cyril Demian in Vienna, Austria. So for those of us who love music, particularly who are enamored by the beautiful play of the accordion, you know how it came about. Cyril Demian had invented it, and on this day he received the patent for the accordion in Vienna, Austria. Yes, next is 1863. 23rd day of August 1863, the General German Workers' Association, a precursor of the modern Social Democratic Party of Germany, is founded in Leipzig, Kingdom of Saxony. If you follow the German political trend, you know that the Social Democratic Party is a strong one in Germany. Now, on this day in 1863, the General German Workers' Association, a precursor of the modern Social Democratic Party of Germany, is founded in Leipzig, Kingdom of Saxony. We move all the way straight down to 1945. If you are good with history, you know that in 1945, the World War II was already raging. Now, on this day, 23rd day of August 1945, during the World War, or during the Second World War, Germany's Freiburg government under Karl Dönitz is dissolved when its members are arrested by British forces. On this day, 1945, during the Second World War, Germany's Freiburg government under Karl Dönitz is dissolved when its members are arrested by British forces. From 1945, we go to 1949, during the Cold War. Remember the Cold War between the West and the East? West Bloc and East Bloc. Okay, the Western occupying powers approved the basic law and established a new German state, the Federal Republic of Germany. In 1949, on this date, the Western occupying powers approved the basic law and established a new German state called the Federal Republic of Germany. So much history there, won't you say? Well, here we are in 1951, August 23, 1951. Tibetans signed the 17th point agreement with China. Tibet, is now part of China. Now, on this day, 1951, Tibetans signed the 17th point agreement with China. And from there, we move quickly down to 1992. On this day, in 1992, Italy's most prominent anti-mafia judge, Giovanni Falcone, his wife, and 3 bodyguards are killed by the Corleonesi clan with a half-ton bomb near Capaci, Sicily. His friend and colleague Paolo Borsellino will be assassinated less than 2 months later, making 1992 a turning point in the history of Italian mafia persecutions. We'll take that again because it's loaded with history. In 1992, August 23, Italy's most prominent anti-mafia judge, Giovanni Falcone, his wife and 3 bodyguards are killed by the Corleonesi clan with a half-ton bomb near Capaci, Sicily. His friend and colleague Paolo Borsellino will be assassinated less than 2 months later, making 1992 a turning point in the history of Italian mafia persecutions. From 1992, we move quickly down to 1995. And on this day in 1995, the first version of the Java programming language is released. Remember Java? Well, now you know. On this day, 23rd August 1995, the first version of the Java programming language is released. You want to quickly count how many years from that time till now? Well, you can. Now we are in 1998, August 23. The Good Friday Agreement is accepted in a referendum in Northern Ireland with roughly 75% voting yes. 1998, on this day, the Good Friday Agreement, this agreement led to the settling of issues and the proper establishment of the Northern Ireland government. So on this day, 1998, the Good Friday Agreement is accepted in a referendum in Northern Ireland with roughly 75% voting yes. Now we're coming closer to our time, our current time. We go over to 2002, August 2023, and we have the 55 parties clause of the Kyoto Protocol is reached after its ratification by Iceland. On this date, 2002, the 55 parties clause of the Kyoto Protocol, some of us will remember what the Kyoto Protocol is about, is reached after its ratification by Iceland. Then 2008, on this day 2008, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, awards Middle Rocks to Malaysia and Pedra Branca, which is also called Pulau Batu Bote, to Singapore, ending a 29-year territorial dispute between the two countries. On this date, 2008, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, awards Middle Rocks to Malaysia and Pedra Branca, which is also called Pulau Batu Bote, to Singapore, ending a 29-year territorial dispute between the two countries. We come to 2013, August 2013, August 2013, August 23, 2013, a freeway bridge carrying Interstate 5 over the Skagit River collapses in Mount Vernon, Washington. Very sad historical fact there. In 2013, on this day, a freeway bridge carrying Interstate 5 over the Skagit River collapses in Mount Vernon, Washington. 2017, August 23, 2017, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte declares martial law in Mindanao following the Maltese attack in Marawi. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte declares martial law on 23rd of August 2017 in Mindanao following the Maltese attack in Marawi. Yes, and then we'll go over to 2021. 2021, August 23, 2021, a cable car falls from a mountain near Lake Maggiore in northern Italy, killing 14 people. Yes, 2021, August 23, a cable car falls from a mountain near Lake Maggiore in northern Italy, killing 14 people. On this same date, 2021, Ryanair flight 4973 is forced to land by Belarusian authorities to detain dissident journalist Roman Protasevich. Those of us who followed that story, the man has evaded arrest for a while. But while aboard the Ryanair flight 4978, it is forced to land by Belarusian authorities so that he could be detained, and that is Roman Protasevich. August 23, 2021, and we have Anthony. 2022, we have Anthony Albanese of the Australian Labour Party is sworn in as the 31st Prime Minister of Australia after winning the 2022 Australian federal election, ending 9 years of Conservative rule. That's the motto taken on today in history. My name is Didi West. We shall return shortly on One Community Radio Network Port Harcourt Center, which you can also reach us on Megaband 97.3 megahertz. We shall return shortly for the full version of today of newspaper review. Sorry, let's stay tuned. We'll catch you back. Welcome back to One Community Network Port Harcourt Center, and you can reach us on Megaband 97.3 FM. My name is Didi West. The program we want to present now is Newspaper Review, the main version, and we are beginning with the Punch today, 23rd August 2022. Weather condition in Port Harcourt, it's drizzling. It was raining earlier this morning. It's a bit cloudy, and we don't know how the weather is where you are, but here in Port Harcourt it's wet The sun is not yet up, and we are hoping that the weather would be okay for the different things that we want to do. Yeah, let's get straight back to the newspaper review, and we begin with the Punch this morning. And there, right at the top of the paper, we find this one: NNPC eyes 422 billion from 6 IOCs in August. NNPC, the now commercialized NNPC, eyes 422 billion naira from 6 international oil companies in August. That's in this month. That's a huge sum, if you ask me. Then we have this one: lawyer sues Buhari others over NDDC management. Lawyer sues Buhari others over NDDC management. That story you find on page 5 of the Punch this morning. And we have ASU NEC, that's National Executive Committee, decides on strike Sunday. That is this coming Sunday, August 28th. ASU, the National Executive Committee of ASU, will decide on what to do with the strike. You find details of that on page 10 of the newspaper. We have this other headline at the cover of the Punch: oil firms owe banks 5 trillion naira amid losses, theft. Oil firms owe banks 5 trillion naira amid losses, theft. That is amid theft of oil from the pipelines and such like. And you find details of that on page 20. Over the weekend, I had the opportunity of speaking with a staff of one of the leading companies in the oil sector, and the story I was given about the massive theft going on pipelines and so on is not good for business, and some companies are already seriously thinking how to relocate out of Nigeria. Well, we believe that with the contract given to one of the strongmen in the Niger Delta, these issues may just be history. Well, details of that report you find on page 20 and other pages of the Punch. Here we are at the right side of the masthead. Reps summon TCN over $33 million payment to Genco. Reps summon TCN over $33 million payment to Genco, that is to a power generating company. Intriguing story. It could be turned to page 20 and see the details. Yeah, we come to the main headline on the Punch, on the cover of the Punch, and we have this one here: insecurity stroke economic crisis. Atiku, Obi slammed FG, Shetima sells Tinubu's candidacy. Insecurity economic crisis. Atiku, Obi slammed FG, Shetima sells Tinubu's candidacy. And we have some riders, 4 riders. We begin with this one: everything negative, situation pathetic, worst ever, PDP LP presidential candidates. I will hand over federal varsities to states, says Atiku. Angry youths fought ex-vice president. Nation in disarray, Chimamanda Adichie. Nation in disarray, Chimamanda Adichie. And Tinubu will hit the ground running, according to Shetima. All this was part of the NBA National Conference that held yesterday, and right below that you can find a picture story of let me see if you can remember the NBA president Chimamanda Adichie standing close to former Vice President Atiku, Governor of Edo State Obaseki. I think there's Amaju Pinnick, and then there's Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi in that picture right on the cover of the Punch. And then we go to the bottom section of the Punch this morning, and we have these headlines: 570 million naira debt contractor to sue Osun over airport. 570 million debt. 570 million naira debt. Contractor to sue Osun over airport. Details of that you'll find it on page 19. And we have this on building collapse. Lagos orders probe. Police arrest engineer. Building collapse. Lagos orders probe. There's the Lagos state government has ordered probe, and the police have arrested the engineer in charge. You find details of that on page 5 of the Punch. And we have Olubadan fumes as hoodlums invade palace, disrupt ceremony. Olubadan fumes as hoodlums invade palace, disrupt ceremony. That is on page 9 of the Punch this morning. And we move over to another newspaper, and that's The Guardian. August 23rd, 2022. On the cover of The Guardian, we have PDP considers Southwest for IU's replacement. PDP considers Southwest for IU's replacement. That's the national president, national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. The paper is saying that PDP is considering getting somebody from the Southwest to replace IU. And we have this other headline next to it: gunmen abduct Rivers monarch, police launch manhunt. Gunmen abduct Rivers monarch, police launch manhunt. And page 27 has that details of that. And then we come to the one we were just discussing from the other paper, NBA conference. Adichie, that's Chimamanda Adichie, decries leadership deficit as candidates unveil 2023 agenda. You recall that the three political parties are there, the presidential candidates were there, all represented. The PDP and LP had their candidates there, while the APC had the vice presidential candidate in attendance. And then we have riders here. First, article: everything negative is happening in Nigeria. 2023 will be about competence, not connection. Obi: APC will replicate Lagos Borno wonders, says Shetima. Falana urges lawyers to end illegal arrest, detention of citizens. So much from that story. And then we have, a picture story of different people who attended the event. The same names I mentioned before. It's actually the same picture, but I think behind them is a TV reflecting same picture. So grab a copy of The Guardian to find out more. And then we have another picture story right under that one, and it says still no respite for motorists at NNPC Junction, Ejibo, Lagos. Still no respite for motorists at NNPC Junction, Ejibo, Lagos. Yesterday, really pathetic sight in that picture, with the middle of the road almost filled with water. And right below that, at the bottom section of The Guardian, we have article: will not hand over federal universities to states. Aid clarifies. Article: will not hand over federal universities to states. Aid clarifies. I want to find out what it's about, because this other paper says he said he will hand over universities to states, but his aid has clarified this, according to The Guardian. And we have this one here: tribunal orders INEC to release Osun polls materials to Oyetola APC for inspection. Tribunal orders INEC to release Osun State gubernatorial election polls materials to Oyetola APC for inspection. Shekarau set to leave NNPP, blames Kwakwanso. As at yesterday evening, I think he had already left the party and was explaining why he did. So Shekarau set to leave NNPP, blames Kwankwaso. We think, we want to believe that he has already done so. And, find details of that on page 9 of the newspaper. And we have why suspect wanted to kill Dogara by Bauchi CP. Why suspect wanted to kill Dogara, that's the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, was the suspect is said to intended to kill him, according to the Bauchi State Commissioner of Police. Well, intriguing report. Just flip through to page 9 of the Guardian to see details of what that is about. And we move to this day today. This day begins with this one right at the top. Lawmakers knock TCN over inability to extend power generation, summon MD. Lawmakers knock TCN over inability to explain power generation, summon MD. And there is a rider there. Alleged 3 persons committed Nigerians to $33 million monthly payment to Azura Power Deal. Alleged that the lawmakers are alleging that 3 persons committed Nigerians to $33 million monthly payment to Azura Power Deal. Wow, this is intriguing. I want to find out. I'm sure you want to find out. Just flip through the pages of this day to page 10 for details. And we have right above the masthead of the newspaper, FG begins talks with airlines over trapped funds. FG begins talks with airlines over trapped funds. Page 5 of this day, today, 23rd August 2022. And Shekarao, Kwankwaso betrayed my confidence in NNPP. Shekarao, Kwankwaso betrayed my confidence in NNPP. Page 26 of the paper. You see details on page 26 of the newspaper. And we have police assassination plot against ex-speaker Dogara true. Police assassination plot against ex-speaker Dogara true. Say a suspect has confessed to plan. And another rider disclosed further investigation ongoing. The police say a suspect has confessed to the plan and disclosed further investigation ongoing. Well, we come to the main headline on the cover of this day today, and we have it this way. At NBA conference, Atiku, Obi, Shetima decry state of Nigeria, profile solutions. At NBA conference, Atiku, Obi, Shetima decry state of Nigeria, profile solutions. And we have some interesting riders following that headline. We begin with this one. PDP presidential candidate pledges to unveil draft constitutional amendments on day 1. PDP presidential candidate pledges to unveil draft constitutional amendments on day 1. LP presidential candidate says 2023 election not about tribe, religion, but competence. LP presidential candidate says 2023 election not about tribe, religion, but competence. APC vice president VP candidate will create Lagos experience all over the country. And right below that, we find the same picture I was talking about. We have the NBA president-elect Yakubu Makiao, vice president candidate of APC Shatim Keshima, and it's Senator Kashim Shetima, sorry. And we have the outgoing NBA president Olumide Akpata, and then we have technical committee on conference planning Tobena or Erojikwe, guest speaker Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, presidential candidates of the PDP Atiku Abubakar, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party Mr. Adewale Adebayo, and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, during the opening ceremony of the 2022 NBA annual conference that held in Lagos yesterday. It was quite a handful, quite a mouthful, quite a handful of events that happened at that conference, and you want to grab a copy of one of the newspapers to find out more of the intriguing, interesting details. We move over to The Nation. The Nation today, 23rd of August 2023. Why I dumped NNPP by Shekarao. Why I dumped NNPP by Shekarao. Details of that you'll find on page 4 of The Nation. And then next to that we have scores of militants killed as Nigerian Air Force jets hits ISWAP's camp in Sambisa. Scores of militants killed as NFA jets hit ISWAP's camp in Sambisa. You find details of that on page 6 of the paper. And we have these stories here. Lawyer says EFCC can probe state's accounts and finances. Lawyer, EFCC can probe state's accounts, finances. And below that we have tribunal grants Oyetola APC access to poll materials. That's the election tribunal in Osun State. As pertaining to the Osun State gubernatorial election that held a few, tribunal has granted Oyetola, one of the APC candidate, access to poll materials because of the suit. He instituted. Well, right below the masthead, we have why Southwest must vote massively for Tinubu next year by APC leaders. And below that is the same picture. At this point, we'll say the picture is trending. The same picture of the NBA conference with diverse, different people. What catches my fancy is Chimamanda Adichie and all the 4 presidential candidates, 5 actually, that were there. And then we have Tinubu, Atiku, Obi rollout plans on economic security. That's the main headline on the cover of The Nation today. Tinubu, Atiku, Obi roll out plans on economy, security, and we have some interesting riders following that. We begin with Shetima. APC standard bearer and I will replicate Lagos Borno feats. Nigeria's unity, power devolution not negotiable, says PDP candidate. Nigeria's unity, power devolution not negotiable, says PDP candidate. LP flag bearer promises to transform Nigeria to a productive economy. LP flag bearer promises to transform Nigeria to a productive economy. And right below that we have no work, no pay rule. NLC backs ASU on salary arrears. No work, no pay rule. NLC backs ASU on salary arrears. And we have pay lecturers to end strike, Labour urges government. Pay lecturers to end strike, Labour urges government. And we have BOI, Bank of Industry, Nexim, 101 billion naira for real sector funding, says CBN. BOI, Nexim, 101 billion naira for real sector funding, says CBN. And we come right to the bottom section of The Nation, and we find 2 die, others injured in Lagos building collapse. Yet another building collapse in Lagos State. 2 die, others injured in Lagos building collapse. And you find details of that on page 6 of The Nation today. And we have MTN Nigeria rolls out 5G. MTN Nigeria rolls out 5G. Today is a rollout date for 5G. Well, remember at about August 1 or so, 2001, GSM was rolled out in Nigeria, and it was Econet that that hit the target. And then the following day, and MTN came into the running. And today, MTN is rolling out 5G, and of course, some of us want to say congratulations to them. And we move over to Daily Trust. Daily Trust, August 23rd, 2022. We continue our count up rather than counting down. We are counting up on with respect to the students in captivity, and we have this one here: school children in captivity. Federal Government College burning Yauri, 432 days. Federal Government College burning Yauri. Students from that school have been in captivity with terrorists for 432 days. Bethel Baptist High School, Kujama, 415 days. Bethel Baptist High School, Kujama, students have been in captivity for 415 days. Well, right below that, we come to the headlines proper, and we have Shekarau punctures Kwakwaso's claims, leaves supporters guessing. Shekarau punctures Kwakwaso's claims, leaves supporters guessing. Right beside that, we have scores of terrorists killed as NFA jets hit Shekarau's successor's enclave. Scores of terrorists killed as NAF, that's Nigerian Air Force jets, hit Shekau's successor's enclave. Page 6 of the Daily Trust has that report. And we have Daily Trust Foundation inaugurates Media Lab, trains 25 in digital marketing. Daily Trust Foundation inaugurates Media Lab, trains 25 in digital marketing. And here we are with the main headline on the cover of Daily Trust today. And we have 2023, Atiku, Shetima, Obi profile solutions to Nigeria's challenges. 2023, Atiku, Shetima, Obi profile solutions to Nigeria's challenges. Of course, this is referring to their speeches at the NBA opening day conference in Lagos yesterday. Yes, we have some interesting riders following that headline, and we have I'll attract local foreign investments in health education, says former vice president. You should vote for competence, LP candidates tells citizens. We'll lead our troops to front lines, APC running mate. Well, we go over and we have the picture story of the president, and I can see the Minister of Finance at some events that took place yesterday. I want to focus on the headlines. I will turn left and we'll find again NPF PSC clash over constables recruitment. Again, NPF, that's Nigeria Police Force, and the Police Service Commission clash over constables recruitment. You have details of that on page 4. And this one here, 2023, how Dariye's pardon stirs anxiety in Plateau political landscape. 2023, how Dariye's pardon stirs anxiety in Plateau political landscape. Details of that you see when you turn the leaves of Daily Trust to page 3. And we have this one here. Federal FG introduces rotavirus vaccine to avert 111,000 children deaths. FG introduces rotavirus vaccine to avert 111,000 children's deaths. And the last take, on the very last take we are going to have from Daily Trust this morning: accidented vehicles flood Nigeria's market as cost of tokumbo rises by 100%. Accidented vehicles flood Nigeria's market as cost of tokumbo rises by 100%. Accidented vehicles, dented vehicles flood Nigeria's market as cost of tokumbo rises by 100%. So much already, and that's the much we're going to have from newspaper review this morning. We shall return by the grace of God with another version tomorrow, another edition tomorrow, and We are hoping that we pray that you're going to have a wonderful day. Be sure to be careful with your health. Monkeypox is playing around. Also be careful with there have been recent cases of, they call it one chance. Be careful how you board vehicles anywhere in Port Harcourt or any of the places you're listening to us from. And from our production crew, I wish all of you and myself, I wish you all the best. My name is Didi West. We'll see you again tomorrow by God's grace. Bye.